Okay, I'm Caroline Alexander. It's my husband William and I who both farm here at Castle Farm. We're in the Darenth Valley in Kent, in North Kent. That's sort of the valley that goes along between Sevenoaks and Dartford. So we're on the very sort of northwestern edge of the North Downs AONB area. And we farm in total about 1,100 acres here, which is very much a classic sort of mixed farm, if you like. We've got beef, we've got the livestock there, we've got some arable land with wheat and oilseed rape. We've got some areas of woodland, which is managed a little bit for forestry. We've got a hop garden here, which you can see. We have a small orchard of a rare variety of apple called the Norfolk Royal, and we're the only registered orchard in the world of that particular apple. And we have an area of about 85 acres of lavender, which makes us the biggest lavender farm in the UK. And our background story is really having come from being a mixed farm. Back in the 1980s, we were looking at the different options as to how we could use the different resources on the farm, whether it was the buildings, the people, the skills, the interests that we've got, the land, the possible crops. And we were looking at how we could actually manage that to best advantage, so we weren't totally dependent on the vagaries of variations in market prices every year. And the whole thing was to actually gain some sort of level of independence in our management, so we were actually sort of masters of our own fate as much as we could be on the farm. And that's what's actually generated our passion for the farm and for the landscape ever since, I think, because our passion was farming basically, and we wanted to make sure that we could actually preserve this farm landscape as well as we could. Bearing in mind that we are so close to London, we're less than 20 miles from Westminster Bridge here, and we're in the most beautiful bit of countryside, and it's so easy, so close to an urban area, for bits of countryside like this to be eaten away, and we wanted to keep it as a farming landscape. So all the decisions that we've made over the past 20-30 years have had that ethic at its core. And one of the things that started to change was when we actually looked at the hop enterprise on the farm, and we decided to look at maybe taking the hops and not just selling them for brewing, for the commercial beer making side of things, but to actually take some of these hop bines and sell them on for decorative use. And that we started about 25 years ago. We were the first people to commercially market hops for interior decoration. So bines like this being used in pubs, being used for wedding decoration, going up into people's houses, over kitchens and so on. Very much a Kentish tradition, but we actually decided to try and introduce that over the rest of the country. And from doing the hops for decoration, we then started growing flowers for decoration as well, dried flowers, and had at one stage about 50 or 60 different varieties. And there's other things we've done around the farm as well that have just sort of changed and tweaked a little bit, converting buildings, working along with other local businesses, and so on. And then we started our shop on the farm, selling the hops, selling the flowers, and that was running really, really well with the hop shop until late 1990s, when we started actually establishing the lavender. So we have got here a very, very unusual farm, and what I love is the fact that so many other people enjoy discovering it. We don't advertise. What we like is word of mouth, and for people to actually come here, like the kind of atmosphere, like the sort of products that we've got, and go back and actually tell other people about it. If people come here thinking that we're a sort of visitor attraction, that's not it. That's not going to work for them at all. We're a working farm at our core. And so the sort of people who like to come are people who love the sense of traceability of the products, of the local foods, of local businesses being involved in what we do, and people who enjoy getting out into the countryside and walking. So people can drive here. In terms of public transport, trains work perfectly. You can go from London very easily, or up from Maidstone, other parts of Kent, to Shoreham or Ainsford Station. We're about halfway in between the two, so it's about a 1.5 mile walk along a beautiful footpath. There's the Darenth Valley long distance footpath that goes all the way down the valley through the farm. That also links up with the walk that's being generated by the Royal Geographical Society as part of their Discovering Britain project, where you can actually then download off the internet a guided walk that takes you through the valley and explains the farming and the sort of part that this landscape plays as part of the AONB. So we have that kind of appeal.